The bus rumbled through the fog. Streetlights flickered, casting an eerie glow on wet asphalt. Frank, a weary veteran driver, gripped the wheel. His last route, always the loneliest. The air hung heavy in the bus. Silence, except for the hiss of the engine. Frank glanced at his watch. Almost time. He stopped at a deserted corner, just shadows and fog. Then a figure emerged, tall, shrouded in a dark hoodie. The man moved like a phantom, gliding toward the bus. Frank watched in the side mirror, a shiver crawling down his spine. This wasn't right. The man boarded, dropping a few coins in the fare box with a metallic clang. He didn't speak, just sank into a seat near the back. Frank tried to catch his eye, but the man's face remained hidden in the shadows of the hood. Frank drove on, his unease growing. The fog seemed to press against the windows, suffocating. He kept glancing at the rearview mirror. The man hadn't moved, just sat there, a dark, silent presence. The headlights illuminated a row of abandoned buildings. Their windows were like vacant eyes staring back at him. Frank felt a chill, a sense of being watched. He wished he hadn't picked up that last passenger. Suddenly the radio crackled to life.
Unit 17, be advised. Possible suspect in your vicinity. Caucasian male, early 30s, wearing a dark hoodie.
Frank's blood ran cold. It couldn't be. He glanced at the mirror again. The back seat was empty. Empty. Frank's heart pounded in his chest. Where? How? The dispatcher's words echoed in his mind. Suspect. Hoodie. Frank felt a cold sweat prickling his skin. He gripped the wheel tighter, knuckles white. His eyes darted back and forth, scanning the empty seats. Where could he have gone? The bus rattled over a bump, the sudden jolt making Frank jump. He glanced at the mirror again, and then he saw him. The man was back in his seat as if he had never left. Frank's breath caught in his throat. The man stared straight ahead, unmoving, but Frank could have sworn he saw a flicker of a smile on the man's lips. Or was it just the play of shadows? He had to do something. He couldn't just ignore this. His hand trembled as he reached for the radio.
Dispatch, this is Unit 17.
He hesitated. How could he explain what he had just seen, what he was feeling? Before Frank could speak, a voice, low and raspy, cut through the silence.
You missed my stop.
The man in the hoodie was now standing right behind him, his breath hot on Frank's neck. Frank froze. Fear, raw and primal, surged through him. He couldn't breathe, couldn't move. The man's presence was overwhelming, suffocating. A struggle, a gasp, the screech of tires against pavement. Then silence. Later, the first light of dawn pierced the dissipating fog. The bus sat alone, abandoned on the side of the road. The engine idled, a soft rhythmic hum, but there was no sign of Frank or the last passenger he would ever pick up.